Hugo makes a change. When Hugo the vampire awake in the night, he'd say to himself, I could go for a bite. There was only one food that he wanted to eat. That creature was crazy for red, juicy meat. He'd prowl every steakhouse and diner in town. He'd order 10 burgers and scarf them all down. Then he'd gobble up hot dogs, a roast and a ham, a T-bone or two, and a big leg of lamb, baby back ribs, and a pound of pastrami, then turkey, beef jerky, and greasy salami. And after he'd down every one of those things, he'd eat a whole bucket of buffalo wings. I'm stuffed, he would always exclaim when he'd fed, so he'd drag himself home and go right back to bed. And night after night, he felt bloated and slow. His body was droopy, his energy low. And that put him into a glum sort of mood. He began to grow sick of his usual food, for his meals had been the same up to then, and at last, in his boredom, he groaned, Meat again? Perhaps, Hugo said, if I go and explore, I'll find things I have never tried eating before. Poof! He dropped in the garden where vegetables grew, but as soon as he saw them, he shouted out, Ew! The leaves are all wrinkly. These blobs are all lumpy. Those long things are green, and their skin is all bumpy. No way will I ever try food of that kind. I'd better keep looking and see what I find. Then he flew to a tree where he saw something red. Is it some kind of meatball? He doubtfully said. He feared that it still could be something he'd hate, but flying had made him too hungry to wait. With his sharp little fin, he bit into its skin. Oh my, that's delicious, he said with a grin. So tangy and tart, and yet juicy and sweet. It's like nothing I've tasted, an absolute treat. I've got to try more before night turns to day. Those things in the garden just might be okay. And as soon as he tried them, he happily smiled. The carrots were crunchy, the peppers were mild. He loved the tomatoes, the cucumbers too, though he passed up the garlic, as all vampires do. Back home in his kitchen, he shouted with cheer, I'd gladly eat peas at any night of the year. I can still have a burger or chicken or ham, but I will serve them with broccoli, some greens, or a yam. I can make a fruit salad with peaches and cherries, bananas and pineapples, melons and berries. It didn't stop there. He discovered new snacks. He'd nibble on nuts when he'd sit and relax. When riding his bike by the moon's eerie glow, he'd fill up on raisins to give him more go. And soon he could tell that his muscles were stronger. He didn't feel sluggish or slow any longer. I've never felt better, he'd shout in mid-flight. It's great to have so many good things to bite. Poof! And now, every evening, he flies near and far for the best fruits and veggies wherever they are. And whenever he stops for a bite in the dark, he reminds us by leaving his own little mark. A hole in an apple, a peach or a pear, will show you that Hugo the vampire was there. So that is the end of Hugo makes a change.